a wonderful day, and we are excited to have you join us on Global Morning today. Today is Wednesday, and of course, we call it Midweek Global Morning. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and of course, I'm being joined by Jumai Manson this morning. It's good to have you on Global Morning again. When was the last time I saw you? All right. Okay.
That was Wednesday, Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday, that's true. So how are you doing?
I am fine. It's great to be here. Like you said, it's the midweek global morning. I like the fact that you tagged it that way because, of course, it's Wednesday, it's the midweek. For those of you out there who are pursuing contracts Monday, Tuesday, don't give up. It's still Wednesday, so there's still hope, right? Be hopeful, be thankful. It's very important. And to each and every one of you out there, good morning. Hope you're having an amazing time. And of course, you know how it is. The hustle and bustle continues. You know how it is. Nigeria, we must survive, right? That's the song. Nigeria, go survive.
Sure.
So we must survive. It doesn't matter the hardship. It doesn't matter what is going on. We will survive, and everything is going to be fine. Right, Ramsey?
Yeah, we will survive. Everything is going to be all right. When there's life, there's hope.
Yes, they say.
And one good thing about Nigerians is the fact that Nigerians are very resilient. Nigerians are people that are go-getters.
Oh, yes.
Nigerians are very talented. So we've got all it takes to make every day a good day.
Yes, we do.
That's if you really want to, because it's a matter of choice anyway. Well, let's get into some of the developing stories from the National Assembly as the senators approved that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu can send troops to Benin Republic. It's no longer news that after the meeting yesterday, the ECOWAS meeting, a state of emergency has been declared in West Africa.
Yes, it has.
I foresaw this. I knew this was really going to happen.
Really?
Because was it not yesterday, I was talking with Priscilla and we were talking about the issue of coup in this part of Africa. Then you begin to put one or two together. You begin to look at the antecedents of our leaders, how leaders treat the subordinates, the led. Let me not even call them subordinates, the leaders and the led. As it is, some people believe, I personally believe that as a leader, you are meant to lead and not to frustrate. But reverse is the case for a lot of African leaders. Some even get there and they don't want to leave anymore. And it's part of the reason why you keep hearing of coup in some parts of Africa.
Sure.
Some persons will tell you, well, it's not going our way. Let's topple the government, you know, and we've had a lot of coup. Benin Republic just happened, of course. Burkina Faso. In fact, Burkina Faso even had to leave.
Yes.
It's Chad here. So you begin to put all of this together, then you see that it is necessary. But then the truth is, before we even wake up to the occasion, before we wake up and handle the situation, before we put up control measures, we need to look inwards first. First of all, do an overhauling of the system. What am I trying to say? Let's look at where the problem is. All right? If you don't discover the problem, the solution will be difficult because they said a problem known is half solved.
Yes, it is.
So what we should be thinking of, apart from declaring state of emergency, we should also look at what the problems are. All right? What are the points? What are the issues? What is the problem? What is the matter? Something must have instigated this situation.
Of course.
Except that very particular thing is being tackled. We can't say, well, we are now free. All right? Like we're talking about Nigeria. Some people can call Nigeria all sort of names. All right? Nigeria is a state of its own. You know, Nigeria is some people will tell you Nigeria is corrupt. Some people will tell you Nigeria is this and that. But then the truth is, not every Nigerian, all right, is corrupt.
True.
We may say, well, majority, as the case may be, depending on how you are being dealt with.
Yes, and depending on the office in which you hold.
The office which you hold. And some people will say, well, If not until you get into office, you get to where money is, your faith and your stand cannot be tested until you are face to face with the money, face to face with the assets, and you don't divert them. At that point, we can say, well, this person is not corrupt. And all of these corruption cases put together, especially by people at the top echelon, then you begin to think, I need to get there too. I need to make this money. Then they begin to think of cool. All right, because they call it national cake.
Yes.
You know, and everyone will tell you, I want to get my own share of the national cake.
Yes.
But then I think declaring state of emergency is not out of place,
No, it's
looking
not.
at the situation of
No,
the African countries.
Yes, when you want to curb the because like coup is like a menace in the society because everyone is not in tandem with what is actually happening. It's just unfortunate. And talking about the national cake, you know, someone would tell you, if someone is there and he can make this amount of money, why can't I do the same thing and make this amount of money and also get away with it? And for me, mindset, it's very important, and what you have up there, what you want to give back. If you're there, and that's where greed comes in. If all of the manifestos you're talking about improving lives, improving jobs, improving various ways of employment, all of these things that you keep the mood in, and then people will be happy, they want to vote you in, the excitement. And when you get there, it's another story you tell us. You dilly-dally, and then it turns around, and it's not what you're saying that you're giving back. The action is not buttressing what you're saying. It becomes a serious problem, and then people behind you would definitely come up and want to remove you from that seat. It doesn't matter. They will definitely remove you if you're not doing the right thing, or they feel that you are being greedy, or you are not in line with what you promised. Of course, you know, people would definitely do the needful and try to unseat that individual. So
all right,
that's
let's,
what it is.
as it is, we're still waiting for what will happen. Our troops are there, maybe to forestall peace, of course.
Of
but
course.
let's just keep our fingers crossed, just wait and see what will come out of the whole situation.
And then to just add, and then they said, I heard that the military in Benin Republic actually held down the Air Force plane. But the Air Force came up and debunked that statement and said nothing like that. Their plane was not held down and all of that. But let's just see how well this plays out.
Yes, I think we talked about that yesterday. That was about a number of our military officers were held. That's in Burkina Faso.
Yes, in Burkina Faso.
And of course, the Air Force jet also.
Yes.
According to some persons, they said it was arrested, but they said it developed a fault and they had to do an emergency landing.
Okay.
That's what some people are postulating.
Okay.
But then, whatever it is, I don't think they went there for any other thing that will warrant maybe the arrest of our soldiers. But I know that our soldiers cannot just enter there, all right, without notifying them that they are coming or that they want to land there. But if it is an emergency, for you to save life, you need to land. I think that's part of what they did. But, you know, stories must fly. You know, this is an era of social media, so a lot of things. Before the real thing even gets to the fore, people are already saying so many things out there. But then, whatever it is, our men are safe, our Air Force jet is safe.
And hopefully peace will be restored as soon as possible.
Yeah,
and there's a state of emergency, all of that in tandem, but and at the same time, let's just see how well this plays out, though.
Let's see how all of this plays out. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, Global Morning continues. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Of course, the speculation of so many Nigerians played out yesterday in Rivers State, where Siminalayi Fubara finally defected to the ruling All Progressive Congress from the People's Democratic Party. Of course, a lot of people...
I didn't see that coming.
You didn't see that coming?
I didn't see that
no,
coming.
Immediately after, remember, before the reconciliation and before the suspension of the state of emergency in Rivers State,
sure,
there was a meeting that was held, all right, between himself. In fact, there was a meeting held outside Nigeria, all right, and then another meeting was held in Nigeria. And you know, the FCT minister, he will give you conditions, all right? He will give you conditions.
What are you insinuating, Ramsey?
No, I'm not insinuating anything. He have his terms. Like he told the People's Democratic Party that if you want the convention to go on, see us, let's talk. He always have his conditions.
Okay.
All right? And he have his, let me just use his terms.
Please do.
His terms. He has his terms. But then, I wasn't surprised, really. I've said it on this platform before that Siminalayi Fubara may be defecting to the People's All Progressive Congress from PDP. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Remember, after the local government election, all right, majority of the local governments were swept. I didn't say win. We are swept by APC. Now you are a governor in the state. At the House of Assembly, at the State House of Assembly, majority is APC. The local government, majority is APC.
Sure.
And you know, whether you like it or not, you may be the governor, but that party difference must play out. If there must be a smooth running of the state, no matter how strong you are politically, you need to work with people, of course, to be successful. One man cannot make it happen.
Very true.
Especially when it comes to politics, when it comes to governance. One man, it's not a one-man squad.
Of course.
So if you really want to perform, if you really want to do well, because we remember what we were told. They said every defecting governor will tell you it is not because of them, but because of the people in the state. It's because of that's what they will tell us. So in this situation, I knew that if he doesn't defect, there might be pocket of problems. It might not be obvious, but himself, he will not even feel free.
But you know why I didn't see this coming? Because Siminalayi Fubara has said a lot. He said his mind is out of the government house. He's done. I just thought he would just, quietly.
But on return, you should have a second thought after his return.
But at least sometimes you just need to go away from all of this and politicians, that's why they say politicians are unpredictable. You cannot be fighting a war with, as in looking at politicians, you have to be very careful with them. Well, I didn't see it coming though. I didn't see it coming. But when you said conditions, it took my mind aback that, okay, maybe the FCT minister would have said, I have forgiven you, but we cannot be in the same party. Oh, I don't know. For peace to reign, it's either you go or I go.
Which party is the FCT minister? FCT minister is in which party?
Please tell us. I don't know. But you and I know that we know.
See, every Nigerians know what's happening. A lot of people will tell you.
Please don't quote me.
He's in the People's Democratic. He said he's a card-carrying member.
That's what he said. Of course, but
he's working with the APC administration
in tandem,
and of course so many things, a lot of speculations and so many things. We are waiting for him to tell us the party he really belongs.
Okay.
And we are sure that before 2027 he should be able to tell us the party he really belongs.
But he has come out with, before the FCT minister is a man of his words, and he says he's a card-carrying member of the People's Democratic Party, and he's not shifting ground. And you see how all hands on deck
until
is when
yesterday.
It comes to, we are not. Politicians are unpredictable. I'm telling you.
Do you know that until yesterday, you will still say this same thing about Fubara? that Fubara said is a card carrying.
No, he never said that. He said his mind is out of all of these things when it comes to being a governor and all of that. And I saw reason with that because of all the frustrations and all of these tussles here and there. But you know how long the tussle was long. It took God and grace for everything.
You can be in a political party and not be a governor. So we're talking about political party.
Exactly. But sometimes the whole thing, the whole circumstance is overbearing. Sometimes you just need to allow everything and just come to your corner and just rethink and just.
So if you are Fubara's special advisor, you advise him, hey, Oga, don't leave PDP. Is that what you're saying?
I won't say that. There's a way I will go about it, which I won't share on air. But there's always a way for you to. You see, integrity for me is very important. It doesn't matter how much you see that word integrity.
Politician. That's
the thing. Are you saying politicians don't have integrity?
No, I said you as a politician. Is that what you're saying?
Do you know what? It takes one man to make a difference, and that's the thing. People think everyone is the same. There's. One of our bosses said something, and I agree with her in a subtle way. She says, when it comes to money, everyone is greedy. Everyone is greedy. You'll be shocked. But for that whole, there's always an exception. And there are some individuals who are exceptional to that case.
I think that greed.
Let me say something. You see, that's the thing. Once you have the mind to serve, once you have the people in your heart to serve and to give back, all of these other things that are added additions will not matter. But some of us, we do not understand that. We think it's all about our pockets. And that is why integrity, Ramsey, is very important. And most politicians, sorry to say, don't quote me, but we have to work on that part.
Work on the part of integrity, right? Yeah. Okay, that's from Jumai, of course.
Yes, that's just me. That's just me.
As a matter of fact,
I'm not saying they don't have integrity, but I'm just saying.
No.
Let's just integrity for us to keep our names, to keep our face up there, to stand and still be able to, for people to still look at you. Even if not for yourself, but because future generations.
I'd love to see you do a political campaign.
Oh, please.
All right. Now we'll go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return and we'll bring you the national dailies. What the papers are saying this morning. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily, while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, you're welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Global Morning. And yes, this is the paper review segment. And we'll be starting with the first paper of the day. It's the Punch newspaper. Now, above, beside the nameplate, it says PDP rages as Fubara joins APC. Adeleke shift to Accord. And that read you will find on page 7 and page 20. Now, the Star story reads, Governors versus NNPC. Now, tension rise over alleged $42 billion oil revenue shortfall. And the writer says NNPC governors, auditors trade blows over $42 billion under remittance accusation. FAAC steps in, seeks review. Now, below all of that, the paper there still reads, Reps summon ministers over budget underperformance, and that read you will find on page 21. And the next says, Probe, EFCC detains ex-AGF Malami, and that you will find on page 20. And the next on page 2 and 20, it says ECOWAS fears coup surge. Burkina Faso holds Nigerian soldiers. Again, of course, we'll still be giving you more details on that particular story. And that's all on the Punch newspaper. And next, over to Ramsey, the Daily Independent.
All right, let's quickly look at the Daily Independent this morning, beginning from at the top of the nameplate. Out of school children post national emergency. This is coming from the Vice President, Alhaji Kashim Shettima. And of course, one writer to that story, and the writer says, education budget shored up to 3.52 trillion under Tinubu. Fubara finally dumps PDP, joins APC, cites need for stability. Right? Exactly what I'm thinking. A Senate okays Tinubu's deployment of troops to Benin Republic. One writer to that story, and it says ECOWAS declares state of emergency in West Africa. We've talked about that extensively. Nigeria unveils lucrative mining incentives to lure global investor. One writer says Alake announces over $2 billion inflows into lithium rare earth projects. NNPC E&P Limited hits record 355,000 barrel per day production. Details on page 7. Kidnapping school children, lesser evil than killing soldiers. Gumi is the one saying that. Tinubu rolls out programs to position youths for global competitiveness. Right, that's good. A festive season is the kicker right here. Demand limited aircraft skyrockets airfares. Demand limited aircraft skyrockets airfare. I saw that a few days ago and I was wondering, I said, well, I think it is touching now on both the average Nigerians who do the road and the rail. All right. Just the same thing is happening to people who do the air transport, which is traveling via the air. And now the big story say indigenous shipping fleet near collapse due to CVFF stagnation. And those are the headlines from the Daily Independent this morning.
All right, now we are going to move over to the Guardian newspaper. Now, below the nameplate and, of course, the star story on the Guardian newspaper reads, Fubara Adeleke exit shatters embattled PDP dims 2027 hope. And that you will find on page 6. It's just unfortunate there. These are big whips, and it's really affecting the party. These are the individuals that we felt will actually hold the party together, but it's just unfortunate that this is what it is. And moving on now, on page 5, it says, TCN faces reps panel, hinges instability on vandalism, gas shortage. And below that, on page 30, TIV communities file 100 billion naira suit against Taraba government, army over alleged forceful land seizure. And still on that, on page 2, it says Nigeria faces more shortage as Canada rolls out express entry for doctors. Of course, that is going to be a big blow on, of course, the health sector right here in Nigeria, because a lot of doctors are going. They're going to Jakpa, whether by hook or by crook. And it's just unfortunate that for us to nip this in the bud, we should do the needful by, giving the doctors what is due to them. And, I spoke to somebody, Ramsey, and I said, what will it entail for youths or doctors to remain in Nigeria? What does it entail? Is it wealth creation? What does it entail for us to keep our people here?
I think,
what can we give back? And someone, he just said, the basics. Let me have enough power so I can do my business. Let me have just the simple thing. Let me have light so I can do my content. Is it content I want to? If it's content creation, oh fine. I can run my business. I can be a fashionista and run my business with enough power. I have easy means of transportation. I can come home and eat meals without wondering whether it's 001, that's nothing in the morning, nothing in the afternoon, something in the evening, or 100. I have food, easy. Just make life easy. And believe me, a lot of individuals will not jackpot from this country. But unfortunately, this is where we are. And medical line, where we need our doctors, pregnant women, every day, go to the hospital.
The bottom line
it's just unfortunate, really.
The only thing we need is government's intentionality. That's the
like how they're taking security seriously, right?
They should just be intentional about the sector. That's all. What are they asking for?
No, Canada.
Welfareism and, of course, good facility.
Exactly. And we are good to go.
You were the one playing a video yesterday where a lady was lamenting of how poor a facility in a federal medical center in FCT is.
Yes.
How she has sat under the rain severally, drenched by the rain, in a bid to see her doctor.
Yes, in Jabi. And of course, the cubicle in which 7 doctors are there, and individuals have to line outside to see their medical practice. It's just unfortunate.
That's what we're talking about. Infrastructure. Then good welfare.
And I think we need to be intentional, like you said.
It's just to be intentional. Let's give this thing the necessary priority that it needs.
Very important.
That's just it. We don't need anything more.
All right, let's not dwell on this, but of course it's a very serious matter, and it is a cause for concern, really, because now that the borders of Canada is opened, a lot of our medical practitioners, they're leaving. That's the truth. They will leave by hook or by crook.
It is
through the right documentation or the wrong documentation, they're leaving.
Very good doctors.
But extremely good doctors.
Good doctors,
Okay, let's not dwell on that. I think we've said enough when it comes to that. And then it says here on page 2, Soyinka condemns military intervention in Benin, Lagos demolitions. It's just unfortunate there, but it is what it is. And then, of course, now on page 3, it says ECOWAS lauds Nigeria for foiling Benin coup attempt, and that's on page 3 to be more abreast on the issues on that. Now, Senate halts WAEC curriculum change over concerns for 2026 candidates, and that is on page 3. Wonder what that is all about? Well, you have to go over the Guardian newspaper on page 3 to find out. Now, insecurity has no religious undertone, Fagbemi tells visiting U.S. delegates. And in the course of Global Morning, we will be talking about the delegates, the U.S. delegates who are here. And that you will find on page 5. Now, at the foot of the Guardian, it says, aid accuses Cross River local government chairman of mismanagement, nepotism, and that read you will find on page 29. Now, if you're wondering, with all of these news making rounds, go out and get yourself a copy of the Guardian newspaper to be well abreast of all the issues around. Next is the Nigerian Tribune. Over to Ramsey.
All right, let's quickly flip through the Nigerian Tribune this morning, beginning from the top of the paper where we have the story which says Nigeria, Saudi Arabia signed 5-year defense cooperation agreement. Tinubu urges youths to dream big, sustain creativity and innovation. Looking at this, I just remembered his broadcast during the independence and what he said about the youths. All right, so it means he's still emphasizing on the youths. All right, probably this may give the youths more hope that they are truly the leaders of tomorrow. Kogi governor says 21 children rescued from suspected banditry training. Are you serious here?
What?
Kogi governor says 21 children were rescued from suspected banditry training.
Oh my goodness.
Meaning the bandits already have a training
Ground. Yeah, I heard that. I just had to hear it again.
in Nigeria.
But I want these children.
This is Kogi State. We're not talking about other states.
I know, but this is serious. This is bad now.
Wow.
This is really bad.
Wow.
A training ground. That means you're trying to train the kids how to be
Yes,
bandits,
how to be bandits.
how to carry weaponry and all of that. This is serious, and it's scary at the same time.
It's scary. It's scary. I think this should serve as an intelligent information to be acted upon.
Yes.
Because this is Kogi State. What about the Northwest? What about the Northeast especially?
But why Kogi though? Why?
It has been discovered in Kogi, so we need to give kudos to Kogi State.
Yeah, I know.
Because it means they are on top of their game. Remember what they did, how they struck these bandits a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now they are discovering, meaning they are trying to get rid of these unscrupulous elements from the state. That's what it means. It could be that this training school is in other states that has not been discovered. So if Kogi have discovered it, then this should serve to other states. I think this should be an intelligence information.
Yes,
just go out and make sure wherever their hideouts are, get them out. All right, let's get to the big story here. Still talking about Siminalayi Fubara. It says Fubara joins APC, PDP loses out in Southeast. Then some riders to that story. The first rider says Adeleke joins Accord Party. Only 4 governors remaining in former ruling party. Only 4 governors remaining in former ruling party. All right, this one says the Senate approves Tinubu's request to deploy troops to Benin Republic, of course, to calm the situation there. And of course, we have some riders to that story. Community in a state of emergency. ECOWAS warns as coup. Insecurity deepen regional crisis. Applauds Nigeria for foiling Benin coup attempt. Burkina Faso did not ground NAFC 130. NAF clarifies. All right, what happened in Burkina Faso is not an arrest. That's what NAF is saying. That NAF means Nigeria Air Force. Then this one says, Senate condemns abysmal rise in airfares, summons minister, fan, airline owners, and others. I've never heard a summoning for transport workers or whether union or whoever that is in charge of transportation for people who travel by road. Now, because of the hike in airfare, there is a summon right here. But then, I don't know, but I think this thing should be holistic. It should be all round. Because the moment there is a rise in fuel price, the price of the fare go up and it never comes down. The moment it goes up, it stays there, and nobody cares.
But now, talking about the price of fuel going up, now fuel has come down to a particular amount now.
But the price is still the same.
But the price is still the same. Once you book, for those who are boat drivers and all of that, they tell you they have not reduced their percentage. It's still the same. It's even much more than the same. So, like you said, we need individuals. We need to be very intentional when it comes to this. If the government is working so hard to make life easy for the masses, I think they should there should be a board also that will actually follow up and monitor to see whether individuals are actually in line with what the government they're trying to do for individuals in our society. Talking about fuel, for instance, and there's still rise in transportation.
There's still rise.
There's still high cost of food. There is still high cost of so many things, and yet fuel prices has been brought down.
These things are attributed to fuel.
Exactly. And someone would tell you, Madam, you don't know how much it is to bring. I said, are you kidding me? How much is fuel? Are you kidding me? But the thing is, like you said, we are not intentional. Like, you see, it's just like you're working so much and yet you're not seeing results, and that is what it is. For as much as the government is going all out to make life easy, there are some individuals out there who feel they're not going to allow it happen.
I think there are so many things to be looked into.
A lot.
The fare. What is even taking people's salary? Their take home cannot take them home anymore because of these situations. But no one is talking about it.
A friend of mine will say Nigeria is happening to everyone. Well,
one rider to that story, one ticket equals a 5 months minimum wage. A Senate president is the one saying that. All right, that's for those who travel by air. Those are the headlines from the Nigeria Tribune this morning.
All right, let's flip over to the First Daily. And the First Daily reads, beside the nameplate, this particular read is, it is a national outrage. And it says, Gumi stares national outrage. Military cannot defeat bandits. I think we should call Gumi for questioning and ask him why.
Well,
I think they need to call him for questioning to ask him what is the way forward.
Minister of Defense, the federal government, I think they know what they are doing.
Exactly, because he just says things and you just wonder, are you kidding me? Do you have prior information to all of these things that you're saying? Now, he needs to come in for questioning and let's know why he's saying that. But at the same time, you know, that it's Nigeria and anything goes. Now, the star story on the First Daily reads, Fubara dumps PDP, joins APC as Rivers crisis explodes. Is this the right time to shift ground? I don't know. There's a song that says, if you ask me.
Now who I go ask?
Exactly. Now below that it says, ECOWAS declares regional emergency as coup sweep West Africa. And landlord reclaims Cubana Lounge after court order eviction. Now, below that, it says here, Senate summons aviation minister over soaring domestic air. Yes, please. This is a cause for concern because you'll be surprised how much airfares are now. Now, moving on now, Nigerian secures 860 terrorism convictions in 8 years, and that's from the AGF. Now, besides that, it says NAFDAC raises alarm over surge of unregistered edible oils. There was something I saw on the internet now by one of these content creators, how individuals have the effrontery to mix dye. God, Ramsey, that's why people are having cancer, people are falling sick. Red oil, the individual, the man, he got red dye, and he mixed it up really nicely and poured it in palm oil. It was in these very big drums of palm oil. He poured it in so that the color of the palm oil will be, you know, when you go to the market and you see it very red, you think that's the one from the palm tree, that's the original one. It's dye. And this man doesn't have it at the back of the mind that some people just take oil, just in case they have, maybe you eat something, you know how it is, you just take it raw, you just lick it or something. Not minding that this can be cancerous, this can be detriment to one's health, you do not care.
Is it a content creator that did it?
Who came out and said this was what he found, that individuals, these producers, or will I call them, I don't know, these local producers, palm oil and the rest, is mixing red dye.
That should be for people, maybe for wholesalers or retailers.
But that is so dangerous. And
I
think a lot
should be arrested.
This is
where the authorities need to come.
Immediately he should be arrested and jailed.
NAFDAC, SON, all of them need to come together.
It's just unfortunate that this is what it is. And please, this unregistered edible oils, please, a lot needs to be done. And it says here, NNPC E&P breaks 36-year record, produces 355,000 barrels per day. And at the foot of the first daily, it says, Tinubu to youth, dream big, innovate, build Nigeria's future. And of course, that's from our president, no other than President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and advising the youths. And that's all on the first daily. Let's flip over to the Vanguard. Over to you now, Ramsey.
All right, let's quickly get to Vanguard newspaper this morning, beginning from the big story. The big story this morning is still talking about the airline, and of course it says, not about the airspace violation. Nigeria Sahel states differ over detained aircraft and soldiers. NAF have told us that they were not detained, all right? But as it is right now, I think there is a clarification. Let's go through the rider and see. Maybe it could give us more clarification as regards the issue on ground. Nigerian military aircraft violated Burkina Faso airspace. This is coming from Sahelian states. How France helped Benin foil coup d'etat. Macron's aide is the one saying that. All right. I thought it was Nigerian soldiers or something. Federal government to U.S. delegation. We have security challenges, not religious. Insecurity. Buck stops on your desk. Onekong, Sheikh Lemo Khan, others tell Tinubu. Kidnapping children lesser evil than killing soldiers. Gumi is the one saying that. Adeleke moves to accord. Fubara joins APC. Nigeria-US ties are treasured and robust. This is coming from Sunday Diary. You know who he is already. All right, those are the headlines from the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, now we are going to flip over to the Nation newspaper. And above the nameplate of the Nation, it says here on page 4, it says education budget has risen by 1.98 trillion naira in 2 years, says Shetima. And of course, if you're wondering, that's the Vice President of Nigeria. And here on page 3, it says Fagbemi, 860 terrorism convictions secured in 7 years. Okay, now on page 5, it says 1,660 delegates to pick Osun APC candidate. That's on December 13th, and that read you will find on page 5. Now on page 2, ECOWAS louds Nigeria for Benin rep interventions, pardon me. And the Star Story reads, Fubara joins APC. Of course, that's the major headlines in all of our dailies. It says, Fubara joins APC as Adeleke picks Accord party ticket. And one of the writer here says, why we change parties by governors. Okay, we really want to know why you're changing parties. Of course, we know, but we want to hear from the horse's mouth, they say. Right, Ramsey?
Yes, exactly.
Now, EFCC quizzes ex-AGF Malami over alleged terrorism financing. And here it says, my public record unblemished. Basically, on the foot of the Nation, it says, release my husband's autopsy report. Widow cries out. Unfortunately, they're okay, and we're wondering, you have to get abreast to know what's going on. But that's on page 5, and it says flights for Ekiti Airport, and that you will find that read on page 5. Now, for all of these news making rounds, go out and get yourself a copy of the Nation newspaper to be well abreast. Next is the Daily Trust.
Well, we'll not be able to go further on the review this morning because of our time. I think, unfortunately, that's going to be the last paper for this morning.
Yes, it is.
As we make way for Ogochukwu Mobuno to bring us social buzz. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course,
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
World leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
One of Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Post Extra, bringing you all the...
on the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course,
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face to Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
World leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
One of Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world leaders in United
Welcome
Nigeria
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
One of them is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Good morning, the Global Morning crew, and good morning to you, our viewers. I am Ogot Kumobnor. It's a beautiful day, I must tell you, to look at what's buzzing on the internet. Is a lot, but it's a bit restricted, maybe because of the Christmas celebration coming up soon. Everyone is busy doing one thing or the other. So we're going to just pick one topic that's making the rounds on social media. And this particular topic is not just making rounds on social media. It is something that it can be applied to our daily lives. It's something that we all can relate to. We must have experienced it or have someone who has experienced it. So an ex-user has expressed concern over Nigerian schools. An ex-user named SCESQ tweeted about his worries for the Nigerian school. According to him, he narrated how a boy lost his dad during externship, got to school and was spiraling. NLS gave him multiple queries as expected and he couldn't write the exam. All he needed was emotional support in school and not strict measures. These are things that the Nigerian law school should look into. Meanwhile, social media users have reacted to the post. And someone called Leo da Silva says, he had to reply that particular tweet and said, the day I started my final exam, told my classmate that my dad just died that morning. He told my professor before the paper, my professor walked in, brought a form for me to fill and told me to go home and grieve. I can come write my exam anytime, Hertfordshire Uni. Well, that's someone who's schooled in the abroad, not here in Nigeria. Although I know there are some lecturers who actually have this, heart, this warm and emotional consideration and say, okay, don't worry, let's see what we do. But most times, because it's not in the lecturer's hand to do anything. But I think the lecturer can actually mediate for the students. Talk to maybe the dean of faculty, talk to the head of the department, tell them this person is going through a hard time this period, and I think, or like the case may be, he thinks they should actually maybe make out time to give this person or reschedule an exam for this person while this person go ahead to mourn, and not just making them feel like they do not have feelings. Well, we're going to take comments from social media as regards this. And the first comment is coming from Tenor Autos. Okay. And this person says, the word mental health to most Nigerians is mere myth. They don't believe in it. You will hear some of the lecturers tell you how they suffered worse in their time and still wrote the exams and even made distinctions. Zero empathy or sympathy. Okay. All right, the next one is coming from Diary of a Pastor's Wife, and this person says, summary of this post is, be kind. Everyone commenting on the post will have the opportunity to extend grace to someone else. Do it. Wickedness is not a flex. The last comment is coming from White Lion, and White Lion says, no sympathy, no empathy culture in Nigeria. That's why the country is upside down. Our country is not upside down. We are hoping it's not that way. But yes, everyone is expressing concern over schools. And I must tell you, I have been there. I've had my own, fair share of that experience. Nobody's going to wait for you. Nobody will say, oh, because you lost someone or you're going through a hard time or your mental health is not stable, let's reschedule for you. And I think one of the reasons is, I think we Nigerians, we kind of, we capitalize on some things and then we now make it look like it's just a joke. When someone tells you, I'm going through a lot, my mental health is shaking, we don't even get to see it. We feel it's a joke. Nobody even understand what it means to be mentally stable or mentally unstable. We just feel like you're speaking big grammar. What is mental health is not stable. Come on, go and rest or go find something and eat. And we don't get to look at it. I think it is high time we get to start looking at things like that. People's mental health, children's mental health, students' mental health, to know if they are fit for exams. It's not just by coming to class, teaching them and just going like that. You need to check if they are fit mentally to write that exam, or if they are fit to even participate in school activities, not just coming to lecture. These are things that, you know, it's like reorienting the people in the educational sector, the professors, the heads of departments, the dean of faculties, and all of them, to make them know that this student can actually go through. Even you as a professor, you as a lecturer, you can actually be going through, you know, some certain things, and you just feel like, oh, today is not the day, because you know when you come out to teach, you're not going to give it your best. And another reason I feel like, you know, we tend to insult opportunities. So when someone, maybe for instance in the class, say, oh, I'm going through a lot right now, and they get to find out that a lecturer says, okay, no problem, since you're going through a lot, take some time off school, rest, and when you're back, we can continue. My dear, just watch out for the class. You get to hear that same excuse almost every week. One person will come out and say, oh, I lost something, or I lost somebody. Even people who lost their grandmother, their parents, or anybody like years ago, they'll still tell you, I'm just losing that person, so I think I need some time to rest. I think that is where the abuse comes in. So please, let's try to do things right, and let's put it in our culture to make sure that we have empathy, sympathy for people, so that we can actually progress in our educational sector. All right, that's all we have for you today on Social Buzz here on Global Morning. I wish we had more time, would have elaborated on this. I am August Kumobri, and this is why I'm closing the curtain as Global Morning continues. Do stay with us.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
as always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Social Buzz Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
A joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
Numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festify is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
Rural years in United
Welcome
Nigeria.
to Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Zone is that platform where we
on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
Let's get into the conversation on Global Morning today as we begin with the Labour Party. We're looking at party crisis and, of course, want to look at the leadership saga in the Labour Party. A lot of people before now will say, well, there is no problem in the Labour Party anymore because we've been hearing about the troubles. I think that of the People's Democratic Party is even more than problem. The troubles in the PDP. But then the Labour Party also have their own share of the saga, especially when it has to do with leadership. But if a house stands against itself, can it ever stand? Joining us on the conversation today is the National Youth Leader of Labour Party, past National Youth Leader of the Labour Party, in the person of Dr. Eragbe Absalem. It's good to have you join us on the program this morning, comrade.
Yeah, fellow Nigerians, Comrade Eragbe Absalem, the National Youth Leader of Labour Party. My pleasure to be here, as always.
All right. Thank you for joining us this morning, comrade. Now let's go to the first thing that I want to look at. What triggered the leadership trouble in...
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah. Network is...
So tell us, what triggered the leadership problem in the Labour Party? What triggered it?
Okay, thank you, fellow Nigerians. First and foremost, what is triggering the issues in party, as far as I'm concerned right now, is INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission. INEC is the cause now of the problems in the Labour Party. And why is it so? INEC swore affidavit of oath severally, first on the 23rd of July, 2024, stating clearly that the Julius Abure led national executive of the party's tenure expired. Myself and Julius Abure were elected from the 10th June 2019 National Convention of the party in Akwanga, Nasarawa State. The life of that tenure was 4 years, meant to expire on the 9th of June 2023. However, because of so many other issues, let us agree that a 1-year extension was procured, however illegally, and that 1-year tenure expired on the 8th of June 2024. And INEC subsequently swore an affidavit on oath that the Julius Abure, which is our legal tenure, expired after 5 years, asking the INEC to recognize Julius Abure as national chairman of the party because a clause was smuggled into that suit which Julius Abure filed. That is why if you look at the Supreme Court judgment upon the 4th of April 2025, the Supreme Court judgment said that the court below, which were the FCT High Court judgment upon the 8th of October 2024 and the Appeal Court judgment on the 17th of January 2025, the Supreme Court judgment upon the 4th of April 2025 stated on page 47 that the court below, dabbled into areas where even angels would dread to tread for pronouncing Julius Abure as national chairman of the party. So, and the Supreme Court dismissed the federal FCT High Court judgment of 8 October 2024 and the Appeal Court judgment of 17 January 2025 for lack of jurisdiction. So, the Supreme Court judgment ended that reign of illegality even with INEC. Now, that said, you realize about October 14 or 16 thereabout, INEC invited Abure again to a meeting of the political party's leadership. And when the principal asked the acting chairman, Mr. Bamuchi, why did you invite Julius Abure, knowing that Julius Abure's tenure expired, and you have stopped recognizing him? She said, Julius Abure broke a valid court order from FCT High Court in Gwagwalada, which was impossible. We ran to FCT High Court in Gwagwalada. The judge in that court told us there was a matter which was not determined, so there was no court order. Are you with me?
Yes.
Now, INEC, we suddenly find out that this same INEC now suddenly accepted another court order from Nasarawa, sometimes late September 2025, September 27 or 23rd. I like to speak specifically. Now, Abure filed an interlocutory order in a suit in that court in Nasarawa, who gave Abure an interlocutory order to serve INEC for Abure to continuously be recognized. So which means after we proved the INEC wrong that there was no order, in October, Abure again ran to Nasarawa, leaving Federal High Court. Now, let me quickly tell you what. The Federal High Court in FCT here in Abuja, 15 August 2025, ruled on the matter of the Labour Party National Convention on the 25th of March 2024, which Julius Abure purportedly claimed he organized. The Federal High Court dismissed that suit again for want of jurisdiction, and because the Supreme Court already had dismissed all these matters. So that is the same matter that is already in judgment that Julius Abure, behind the scene, took to Nasarawa State and deceived another court there and obtained an interlocutory order and served INEC in September. So the world should know that Julius Abure tenure expired. Julius Abure is not a member of the Labour Party National Working Committee because the National Executive Council of the Labour Party, as it stands from 8 June 2024, has only 10 statutory NEC members when our tenure expired. Because ideally, there are 34 NWC members who are also NEC members. There are 37 times 2, which is 74 state chairman and secretary, who are part of NEC. And these 10 statutory members, total 118. So which means when our tenure lapsed, only 10 remain. Who are those 10? An elected governor and his deputy. In our case, we have Abia, Alex Onti and his deputy. That's 2. The Nigerian Labour Congress President, Joe Ajero, and his General Secretary, that is Emmanuel Guaja, and the chairperson, Women Commission of the NSC. That is 5 now. 3 plus 2 is 5. We have the TUC President, Trade Union Congress, the TUC General Secretary, the TUC Chairperson, Women Commission. That's 3. 8. Then the BOT Chairman and Secretary. Now, we have BOT Chairman and Secretary because in the terms of settlement reached between the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Labour Party by the Justice Scholar Wole consent judgment. Now, we were mandated to have a BOT Chairman and a BOT Secretary, which were now appointed. So the BOT Chairman is SOZ Ejiofor, while the BOT Secretary is Mohammed Salisu. So these are the 10 statutory NEC members of the Labour Party subsisting as at 8 June 2024 up to 18 July 2025 when they reappointed Senator Nenadi. First they appointed Senator Nenadi and Dalit Uwokota as National Chairman and Secretary on the 4th of September 2024 when Julius Abure's tenure expired on the 8th of June 2024 after 90 days. Now, that tenure that reappointment was done on 18th of July 2025 at Transcorp Hilton Hotel, where a 21 days notice as prepared by law was up to INEC. So, in all of this summary I've given, the purported congresses that Julius Abure claims to be doing with the backing of INEC is non-existent. It's illegal, it is fake, it is null, it is void. So, the authentic leadership of the national chairman of the Labour Party, Senator Nenadi Esther Usman, appointed by the National Executive Council, because the Supreme Court judgment admonished the party because the leadership issues of political parties are not justiciable. And Supreme Court admonished the leadership of the party, which is NEC, to deploy its internal mechanism. So in line with that deployment of internal mechanism, the NEC, which is the highest decision-making body of the party in between national convention, consisting of only 3 statutory NEC members, further reappointed Nenadi Usman and Danny Kiwukucha on the 18th of July 2025, that is subsisting today. So the world should know that whatever Julius Abure is doing out there is illegal, it is null, it is void. Whatever backing elements in INEC are giving Julius Abure tantamount to a violation of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, and the Constitution of the Labour Party 2019 as amended, and the Supreme Court judgment, which is the ultimate judgment in the land, the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right.
So,
all right.
This is the summary, so that the world be aware of the issues are. Julius Abure is non-existent. It doesn't exist. Whatever legality or backing is getting is null and void.
All
this
right.
is the position.
All right. Thank you, comrade. Now, let me ask you, how many factions do we have in the Labour Party as it is right now?
Now, ideally, the Labour Party, say for the INEC unnecessary support for Julius Abure, reasons known to them, which they have to tell the world. I think there's just one Labour Party headed by Senator Nenadi Esther Usman, but we are now talking of faction. Of course, the Julius Abure is not a member of the National Working Committee, neither was he appointed by any NEC anywhere. He's a faction for himself and those in that conspiracy with him. And the other faction, which used to be a faction, which some of us created because Julius Abure was restrained by LCT High Court on the 4th of April 2023 over perjury, over forgery and criminal conspiracy, for which the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice has authorized the prosecution of Julius Abure, Umar Farouk Ibrahim, Ojukwu Clement, for their prosecution over this matter on the 7th of March 2025. Now, that faction of Abapa died a natural death when sometime in 2024, we pulled out immediately. NEC took a decision to appoint Senator Nenadi Esther Usman as the national chairman in that meeting of NEC in Umuahia, Abia State on the 4th of September 24. So, ideally, talking about faction, it's only Julius Abure that constitute a non-existent faction, himself and those who are his accomplices. So, Nenadi Esther Usman is the national chairman of Labour Party in Nigeria by reason of the NEC appointment and the Supreme Court judgment and the Federal High Court judgment that dismissed the illegal and unlawful gathering they call the National Convention of 27 March 2024 at Inewi, Anambra State. So these are the issues. I hope I've been able to answer that clearly.
Yes. All right. As a matter of fact, Labour Party is one party that a lot of Nigerians believed in, and that can be proven in 2023 during the national election. Now, 2027 is around the corner. A lot of political parties are warming up. Is there any move or plan on ground for unity, for settlement? What step have your your faction now? What step have they taken to bring peace to the party? Because it's all about the party here, not the individual.
Yes, thank you very much. Talking about the party. But the case we have had in Nigeria, the Labour Party, is a case where Julius Abure is probably running a monarchy. Because Julius Abure has constituted himself into a monarchy where he runs a tenure that has no expiration. So the one to understand, this is the plight we have found ourselves, and that is because Julius Abure is being supported from supporters that are outside the party. First, I've mentioned the INEC, so that the world can understand where this collusion is coming from within the INEC. There are elements in INEC who are co-conspirators with Julius Abure. Then there are elements outside the Labour Party fold, in other political parties, were also co-conspirators with Julius Abure in this scheme to ensure that the Labour Party does not find its footing, more so as to prepare for the 2027 general elections. Now, talking about reconciliation, the first thing is Julius Abure has to be law-abiding. Julius Abure has proven to be above the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in so many instances. I'm happy to recount instances where a candidate in Ebonyi got judgment up to Supreme Court for his recognition as gubernatorial candidate. Julius Abure went ahead, even after a Supreme Court judgment, and fought the court order and served INEC, with which another person was recognized. Nothing was done about that. So, now talking about the reconciliation, what the party needs to do. Also, on the 17th of July, in its communique, the NEC in session approved about 8 elements for action, because that is the highest decision-making body. Now, it ratified the Interim National Working Committee. Interim because it's a transition government, because our tenure expired. Some persons would like to argue that there is no word interim. No, there should be interim. Because once a tenure is not subsisting, then it can be named in any manner of nomenclature, caretaker committee, interim, or whatsoever, or transition. The second item was that the leadership appointed under Nenadi be able to conduct congresses and the National Convention. And to constitute the statutory committees as prescribed by the Constitution. 4, to establish the participation of membership in the upcoming election through membership drive. 5, for us to commit ourselves to the democratic ideas of the party and principles. Then, the 6th item in that resolution was an appeal for unity and reconciliation. In that clause, next, the stakeholders, members and supporters of the Labour Party, to close ranks, eschew divisive tendencies, and work together in unity to build a strong, people-oriented, and ideologically driven political movement capable of rescuing Nigeria. So, this is the resolution of the National Executive Council. Now, you are aware that because of this matter, even though Senator Nenadi activities, our leadership activities have just begun now, towards the end of last month, because we had waited for INEC to do the needful until we realized that INEC again took another wrong side and people went to court, Federal High Court, to resist Senator Nenadi as the legitimate tenure as appointed by the NEC. Only recently. So this is what we found. So the issue of reconciliation is a policy of the National Executive Council enshrined in the resolutions of 18 July 2025, upon which Senator Nenadi Esther Usman has a mandate to reconcile aggrieved parties. So, of course, in the days ahead, on the 19th of this month, there will be a declaration, a commencement of official party activities by Nenadi Esther Usman, and all of these activities will be rolled out, and Julius Abure and others who have no tenure, I enjoy to come back to the party. This time around, not as leaders of the party, but as party members, and be reconciled. So this is the position.
All right. While you were speaking, you talked about the fact that INEC and some persons, all right, are part of the confusion in Labour Party. Did I get that correctly?
Absolutely.
So what do they stand to gain? What do you think must have informed that kind of move? Because people in other political parties should focus on their own political party and not trying to cause confusion in your own Labour Party. So why that insinuation? Don't you think that may cause distraction and, of course, maybe stop what is supposed to be done positively?
Well, thank you. It is clear that with the feat the Labour Party achieved in the 2023 general elections in Nigeria, the Labour Party has become a party for special concerns in Nigeria politically, because this is a party that came from obscurity, a party that was accused of being only on the Twitter Spaces and social media platform, who by extension won the 2023 presidential and national electoral cross-board, but was shortchanged. Like we said, we insist that we won the election, but INEC, this time INEC shortchanged the Labour Party. That is not history now, because the Supreme Court in its wisdom upheld INEC's position. So we have allowed that. So the worry now is Labour Party must not be allowed to find its footing on the Nigerian political landscape. And one person who can be used to distract the party from going to El Dorado is Julius Abure. It is this same Julius Abure who ensured that the capacity of the polling unit agents, which had begun to build in 2022 to 2023, was discontinued. When Julius Abure lied against me and truncated all the reports I put in place through the office of the national youth leader across the nation. And the work so high-handed, when Julius Abure also claimed that Labour Party won and they had no evidence to prove. And that was how that matter was dismissed by the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal Court, which went up to Supreme Court. And the Labour Party was fined, I think was it 48 or thereabout million naira for frivolous petition. Frivolous because Julius Abure had no proof. So these are the issues. So take it or leave it, persons in APC are worried, particularly about Labour Party. And for them, Labour Party must not be allowed to find its footing. But if anybody feels otherwise, with respect to what I have said, they call INEC to order. Because the same INEC who has sworn affidavit for misinforming court for swearing falsely. So that means the leadership of INEC probably will have to sue them for perjury, for swearing on oath and religion. You swore on oath that Julius Abure's tenure expired, and you went behind to another court and told the court a different thing for perjury against INEC, if that will help the matter. So the elements in INEC who are co-conspirators in this matter will be brought to the court and be prosecuted. Because I'm saying to the world that they have no proof other than the fact that our tenure expired. I'm one of those 20 people elected on the 10th of June 2019. So the information I'm giving out is from the horse's mouth. And INEC being on oath severally, stating the obvious by reason of the position of law that Julius Abure's tenure expired, suddenly turn around to accept a fake court order somewhere and to begin to recognize Abure. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
Right. Finally, before I let you go now, this is going to be the last question. As it is right now, a lot of people would be insinuating that Labour Party has not been able to put their house in order. How would they be able to rule Nigeria in 2027 in case they merge? And then, what is the position of Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 in all of this saga?
Yeah, thank you very much. Talking about putting our house in order, it is easier said than done. Ideally, how do you put your house in order in Labour Party when INEC has taken sides? When INEC who's on oath, when INEC whose duty is the constitutional and legal arbiter as the managers of political parties in Nigeria, is now the one that is championing illegality in Labour Party, swearing affidavit on oath and going behind to go and do another thing, and coming to court, having even the head country to come to the Federal High Court to oppose the court order we are seeking for the implementation of the Supreme Court judgment of 4th April 2025, which is to direct INEC to implement the judgment to say remove the name of Julius Abure from the INEC portal by reason of the Supreme Court judgment of 4th April 2025 that dismissed the FCT High Court judgment of 8th October 2024 and the Appeal Court judgment of 17th January 2025 that recognized Julius Abure as national chairman after the expiration of his tenure for want of jurisdiction. The Supreme Court said those judgments lack jurisdiction and dismissed them.
All right.
So how do you reconcile the fact that INEC is the one violating the judgment of the Supreme Court in Nigeria?
All right, comrade.
But I'm going to accept and allocate the order.
Comrade.
So now coming to Peter Obi, so these are the issues. For Peter Obi, quickly, there is little or nothing Peter Obi can do. In fairness to him, Peter Obi is not a member of NEC. Of course, we say he's the party leader because as the presidential candidate, he become party leader politically at that level. It's not a stakeholder that have a stake in the decision making. Because even though the constitution says NEC can invite him, another stakeholder to their meeting for the purpose of deliberation, but such co-opted persons we have no voting right. So what it means is Peter Obi cannot influence a decision within the hierarchy of the leadership management of the political party called Labour Party.
All right. Thank you very much.
However political it is. So the world needs to understand this.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All he needed to do was unofficial or political discussion outside the leadership, outside the management fold.
Right.
That he has done at his own level. They have no much weight.
All right. Thank you very much, Comrade Eragbe Aslem, the former national youth leader of the Labour Party. Thank you for joining us on the conversation.
And the national youth leader of the party again. Okay. I have been appointed amongst the 34 persons appointed on the 18th of July 2025 as the national youth leader, legitimate and authentic of the Labour Party to conduct congresses and the national convention.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for joining us today. All right. This is from the national youth leader of the Labour Party, giving us insight into what is happening in the Labour Party. The crisis as it is right now is not just in People's Democratic Party alone, but then this is the size of the conversation. We'll go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return for the second conversation. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.